Jesus, teacher, healer. The soul of man has to learn to develop and uplift the sun within him through human experience. Jesus came to bring this message. He brought to humanity a light which is inconceivably more lovely than the physical sunlight of spring. He carried it with him. He revealed this light to all. He was the manifestation of what he taught. To develop and uplift the sun within through the human experience. Everybody take a breath. Now you know that's why you're here. Today's service is entitled, Show Up and Let Go and Show Up. Letting go and showing up. When I say those words to you, do you understand what that means? Letting go and showing up. We live in a society and a world where we think that we need to be prepared for everything. Right?
Yeah.
We have to be ready to respond, to share, to do what's asked of us. We think about all of the details of what we're going to experience. We think about what we have experienced. We think about possibilities. Before we choose to have some new experience, we actually run comps. We do comparables. We compare everything in our files to what possibly might happen or go wrong. And then we go into that experience carrying that with us. How much of our past do you think we carry with us? And how much newness do you think that we actually see? Oftentimes we'll have an experience and we have subconsciously laid these precepts and ideas on it, and something will happen and we will say, man, I missed that. I missed that. I missed that nuance. I missed that occurrence. I didn't see that coming. Because we were looking for the familiar. We were looking for all the things that we've already experienced in the past. Do you understand what I'm saying? And have you been there? Okay. All right. When we have things that aren't in our files, sometimes it's hard to open new files. So, we spend so much time preparing, we repeat. And when we repeat, we have the same. And this is the patterns that we live in. Do y'all realize you live in patterns?
Yeah.
All right. Patterns keep us safe. They're familiar. They're what we created. They're ours. We own them. No one can tell us anything about them. They're ours. But patterns don't allow us to change. Anytime we have expectations, anytime we overly prepare, anytime we're afraid of something happening, we are definitely right in the middle of a pattern. We're in the middle of our own energy. See how I'm getting it? Okay. So I'm going to share a quick little thing just for fun. So we're going to have a potluck on the 4th of July.
Yay!
Fabulous. Jana Leff and Cheryl Sharp are hosting it at the Sharps Farm, which is in Cedartown. So the potluck, 4th of July, sounds easy. Easy little thing, right? So what does Cindy do? Cindy says, 2-hour drive, okay? I got to work all day the next day. Probably not gluten-free food. Okay, I've got to prepare. I've got to maybe go in early because I know I've got to leave early. Would you do the same thing?
Yeah, I did.
Instead of saying, God, am I supposed to go? Is this mine to do? And if I get a yes, then I trust. Everything will be perfect. Wouldn't that allow me to stay for a big bonfire at midnight? And if I did that, do you think that God would provide energy for me the next day to work?
Yeah.
Even if I didn't get home till 2 in the morning? No, well, let's make it 1. It's trusting. It's trusting. If the universe guides, the universe provides. If the universe guides, the universe provides. And if I'm guided to go, I might say, what is my next step? And they may say, take some gluten-free food with you. Or they may say, do nothing, show up. And as I follow it, I will be provided for. I'll leave at the perfect time. My next day will be wonderful. But do you see how one simple little event causes my brain to go into analyzing, comparing, and pulling files? And so am I limiting even just one day to see if it fits in my patterns? Because my patterns keep me safe. You with me? All right. If the universe guides, the universe provides. Please never forget that. Please never forget that. All right. Now we can go a little bit more complicated. Ready? Now we're going to talk about you. Okay. Everything that all of us have in our world is based on patterns. And you can look at your world right now and you can say, man, I'm doing great on that and great on that. And you have patterns that are so flowing and open. You have patterns that are so restricting and challenging. And that is your life. Every bit of your energy that you currently have is invested in maintaining those patterns. Let me say that again. All of the energy that you currently express is being utilized by those patterns, even the ones that are stuck. Do you know how much energy it takes to have a pattern stay stuck in you? Because energy wants to move, but we've got to keep that pattern stuck. So when we look at any of our dreams or forward motion, we have to totally acknowledge something's got to give for me to generate more energy to put someplace else. Something has to change within me, because if nothing changes within me, everything stays like it is. And most of us have enough good patterns that we're like, okay, I can deal. I'll live in my good patterns and status quo. And I know you do that because it's familiar and it's comfortable and your bills get paid and there is no wolf at the door threatening you. So that's enough of a payoff for you to stay there. But as metaphysical Christians and as spiritual beings, do you not feel the urge within, that calling of God's heart for you to do something better, different, greater? Better, different, greater? Even if it's little, better, different, greater? And when you feel that better, different, greater, what you're asked to do, you may not have a pattern for. You hear me? You may not have a pattern for that. And so your brain goes crazy looking for files. Let me read a book. I got to find a file on this. Somebody tell me what you've done. I got to figure something out here. Because I don't know if I have the energy to do this. And wait a minute, if I'm going to create energy even to read a new book, where am I going to get it from? Oh, something's got to give. Something has to change in my world to give me time to read that book, change in my world to do something different. Everybody wiggle in your chair. Because you already are. But are you hearing me? All right. When we are feeling the energy of desires, where do you think that's coming from? Your higher self. Most desires of the heart come from a need to experience love in a different way. And the higher self is always love in a different way. The higher self always brings love. And this higher self always brings love, and desires mean a different way. It's something you don't currently own. If you own it, it wouldn't be a desire. With me? All right. So, a new pattern needs to grow while an existing pattern needs to alter. So let's just pick where we're going to pull energy from, okay? What pattern do you think takes the most energy? I will tell you, it's your biggest pattern. The biggest pattern that you live in, and I don't know you all personally in your personal home life, so I will not go there with you. For me, it would be work. My energy goes to work. My energy goes to work. Any of you who call me at 10 o'clock at night, you know my energy goes to work. Very rarely will I not pick up the phone. My energy goes to work. So if I'm going to create a new pattern, what might I do? I might have a day in my house with no phone calls. Where I email the entire church and say, don't call me on this particular day. You need to talk to Patrick instead. We'll offer service to you, but maybe I'll pull my energy out of that. Maybe I'll take one minor little step. I'm not going to do this. I'm just giving you a sense. No need to fear. But you see, when I recognize the greatest pattern in my life, I can now edit energy without hurting myself. I can begin to pull energy back in a way that makes sense to me. I'm going to try to pull energy back. And I don't have to immediately invest it in a desire. I just have to know I'm creating excess. You hear? I just have to know I'm creating excess. So this is why I'm offering to you and asking you to think about the biggest area, not the most painful area. I'm not saying go heal that block. I'm saying look where all the energy's going and let's curtail some of that. Enjoy your block for as long as you need it. You don't have to stop growing until that block is gone. You can start growing now. Breathe it in. Okay. All right. Can you guys think of areas in your life that you've kind of been trying to nurture a dream? And those dreams sometimes have the big green light and sometimes they have this like plateau. And do you realize how many people walk to the very edge of their lives right before they cross over and that dream is still there? The dream is still in them even though it is now not going to be achieved in this lifetime. What do you think they plan for themselves in the next incarnation? That dream. Put it in again, guys. I'm going to try it again. Can I have a richer family that can send me to school this time, make it easier? That doesn't work, peeps. Because you start where you are. If you have not altered the pattern, you come right in the same pattern. It's the pattern. So the dreams that are coming within you, that are seeking to be born within you, and they do not have to be what your mind thinks they need to be, because your mind is accessing files of old experiences. Are you hearing me? Your dream has to be new. It's a new experience for you. So just to say yes to letting God's Spirit, Holy Spirit, activity of God, I don't care what you call it, the divine light that flows through you, mold it. Mold it. So you're walking with no knowledge. You're walking in complete faith. And you're having awesome, wondrous moments. Doesn't that sound good when I say it? Really good, doesn't it? Do you know how you sound on the phone to me when you're going through it? Like you're at the edge of the cliff and someone's pushing you over. Because I'm holding on to familiar so deeply. If the universe guides, the universe provides. The universe provides. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know where it's coming from. But I'm going to start walking toward it. Again, how do we walk toward it? We take energy from something we've invested energy in, and we start curtailing that investment and start preparing for something we can't prepare for. Okay? All right. I wanted to share a quick story with you. There was a moment in Jesus' ministry when a young man came to him, and Jesus said to the young man, "Follow me." Now, he did not tell everybody to follow me. You guys realize that. He did not. He sent home, he sent over here, go tell your peeps about me. This one he said, "Follow me." And the young man said, "I can't follow you right now. I have to go home and take care of my dad." I'm paraphrasing. And do you remember what Jesus said to him? Let the dead bury the dead. Now, what we don't know in our world, culturally, what the young man was saying to Jesus was this. He was saying, you know what? My dad's old. He cannot make income any longer. So I have to stay and work for him. Give him money until he dies. And once he dies, which Lord knows how long that's going to be, I will join you. I'll follow you. So do you hear what the young man was saying? You are my dream, man. You are my dream. But I have to take care of this man before I can follow this dream. And when Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead, he was not saying, throw your dad in the grave. He was saying, culturally, and they would have understood it to be, there are people who will be more than happy to take care of your dad because they're on that journey too. There are people who are living in that world. Give him to them. Let those that are dealing with that crossing over deal with him. Follow me. You're young, you're alive, you have vital life force. Follow me. Everybody, breathe it in. How often do we let the pattern of someone else's life become our pattern? We take on the pattern of responsibility. We take on patterns of the world to become our pattern. We take that on. And then we can say, well, That's your dream. Do you want to take a step toward it? I absolutely will 1,000% when I'm 80. When so-and-so's not demanding of me. When blah, blah. When you start to inventory your energy field, look for the patterns that you have taken on from other people and really begin to understand, I did that willingly, I did that consciously, and for the moment it was probably good. But holy moly, is the cost too high today? Is it too high right now? Is it taking energy from a dream I need to be doing? And is it stopping me from going toward that dream? Inventorying the precepts of others first and ask, are they really mine? Does this really serve me? Every one of us has done this. Every one of us has done this. When I was a little baby girl and I read that story in the New Testament, I had no idea what it meant. And I was like, man, I can't imagine Jesus being so cruel. And then I would pray about it, and it's okay. They knew what they were doing, okay. And then when I got older and got access to greater understanding, I was like, oh, it makes total and perfect sense. Total and perfect sense. And how many of us take in patterns when we are those little kids, and we don't really understand what's going on. And the parent says, you're responsible for me. Do you know, that could have happened in childhood. The parent said, you're responsible for me. And you take it on into adulthood. We all create our patterns. Yeah. All right. If you say to yourself, I am not ready to change to fulfill my desires, what you are saying is, the patterns I have are more important than my soul. I feel my desires, but the patterns I have are more important than my soul. If you say, I am not prepared to take on more of my soul's expression, you're saying the same thing. The patterns are more important than my soul. And we're also saying that spirit of divinity that I seek, that I want to be a part of, that I want to desperately let flow through me, needs to flow through the patterns I currently have. Which means I'm going to stay at the level I am. And you have to ask yourself, is that where you want to stay? At the level where you currently are, in the patterns you currently have. You cannot meditate and have a relationship with God without your spirit wanting to grow. It's just not possible. You meditate, the more light comes in, the light wants you to be everything that you want it to be. The universe wants us to be happy and expressive and creative and alive. The universe wants this for us. And when we turn to God, when we pray, when we open our hearts, we're bringing more light in, and we're really saying yes to the divinity that we don't understand. And we are going to be called to let that divinity we don't understand have greater space within us to express through us. Patterns. You'd be amazed how easy it is to let them go. You'd be amazed. You take your day off. You turn your TV off. You don't just turn your TV off one time. You say every Wednesday, every Thursday, TV's not coming on. So I can focus on whatever. I can just sit with my spirit and say, Spirit, what are we doing today? I'm taking myself off the program. I'm taking myself off the patterns. You know where your biggest investment is energetically. You know where you can pull energy from. You know. You also know the measure of the desire that your heart is dealing with right now. You know that. And you also know your path is to express the divine light of God through human experiences. You are the master creator of everything that is around you right now. And you know what's in you, what you can do, what you need to do. And I will tell you, the unknown can be absolutely fun with wonders, things happening and amazing. The unknown can be long, long, long. But it's filled with, I don't know what I'm doing, and you get comfortable saying, I don't know where I'm going. God's got me. And what do you learn during that long process when you don't know, but God's got you? You learn God's got you. Yes. And how else would you learn that? How else would we really learn to trust unless we actually did it? Following your heart to the desire of your heart is always going into the space of the unknown. Always. And I know it gets easier every day. If it's quick and fun or long and momentous, it gets easier every day. Showing up and flowing. Letting go, showing up and flowing. Letting go who you think you need to be. Showing up and being what is in the moment. Flowing your Christ light out into the world. If I could really inventory how many times you all have individually said no to opportunities of expression because you were afraid, we'd be here a long time. Because it is true. Because we were afraid. The moments that you said yes to Spirit are shining stars in your energy field, and they took you to miraculous experiences. Sometimes we think we have to give up everything to say yes to that experience, and sometimes we do. Sometimes we have to let go of every pattern we have. But if the universe guides, the universe provides. If you have to let go of big patterns, beautiful things come to you. You're never walking alone. You're never walking alone. All right. Are you all ready to take another step? Yes. All right, let's go. Father, Mother God, I ask that your light fill us all. And I ask that that great peace that we felt at the beginning of the service just descend into our hearts. And I welcome a beautiful column of light to come over each one here, each one that hears these words. A beautiful column of iridescence that just holds them safe. And in your mind, I would invite you just to begin to see, visualize, or feel all of the patterns around you. And maybe it'll just look like energy moving around you, patterns around you that you've invested your energy in, that you're sustaining. And now I want you to go to see in your heart and let it pop out of your heart center the desire that's wanting to be born within you. Feel a beautiful, brilliant, beautiful, sparkling energy pop out of your heart, that desire seeking to be born. And look at the essence and the vibration and the light in that desire. And notice it may not match fully the patterns that you currently have around you. Just acknowledge for a moment. And let your mind just think for a second. Look around and see, what is one of my largest patterns? Where most of my energy goes? Let me just see, energetically, without logic thought, let me pull just a little sliver of energy from that. And I'm going to give that little sliver of energy to this beautiful desire in front of me. And just watch as you do. Just watch energetically, pulling a little bit of energy and giving it to the desire. And see it become strong and bright, bigger, lighter. And now if you're willing and ready, you don't have to do this next step, but if you're ready, I want you to breathe that desire back into your heart. Breathe it back into your heart. And if you did not want to do it, just send the energy back to where you got it from. Let the desire come back to its original state. And you can take that back in as well. Nothing is ever lost in the universe. Now feel the desire as it vibrates in you. I am willing to be greater. I am willing to shine. Feel the love of God surrounding you. Bless this life you have. Let your love move to all the patterns you sense around you. I love my life. I created it. It's wonderful. Love my life. Fill it with peace. And feel the love of God, the presence of the Christ. And just very gently begin to allow your focus to come back to your body as you sit on the chair. Feel your feet on the floor. Father, Mother God, I ask you bless each one. Walk with them, show them, provide. As you have guided, let them see that they are provided for. And let them feel your love and hold them in your touch. And I thank you, God. And so it is. Take a breath. Send your love into the room. How you feel? I will close with this. Those moments where I have come to saying yes to desires of my heart, and the cost was everything. It was every idea that man had of me. It was every expectation anyone had of me. It was me saying yes to my own soul. I lost nothing, but I gained a higher level of me. And that is all we are doing. We are becoming that brilliant light in humanity. Say yay, God.